Hello, my name is Kathy Willis and I'm the Executive Director of Huronia Transition Homes. We operate La Maison Rosewood Shelter, Athena's Sexual Assault Counseling and Advocacy Center, and the Choices for Children program. We are very pleased to be the lead francophone shelter for the County of Simcoe. And what we want to talk to you about today is how to ensure that every francophone woman coming into the shelter is presented with an active offer of French language service. We also want you to know the supports that are available to francophone women in Simcoe County. So thank you very much for watching, and we appreciate your commitment to offering French language service to all women and children in our county. The French language service referral agreement is not new information to the 5 shelters. We have a long history of working collaboratively with each other and with Colibri, Centre de Femmes Francophones de Comté de Simcoe. As you know, the lead agency for francophone women in Simcoe County is Colibri, and La Maison Rosewood is the lead shelter. During a conversation with Joanne David, Executive Director of Colibri, it was decided that we were still not presenting francophone women with a seamless, active offer of French language service. With the agreement of the 5 executive directors of all the women's shelters in Colibri, we revised the French language service referral agreement, and we believe we've come up with an agreement that is far superior. Actually, it has been used as an example across the province, and we have all the shelters in Simcoe County to thank for that. So thank you. The redesign meant that there would be a seamless offer of service to all francophone women accessing VAW shelters and services across Simcoe County. What we want to talk to you about today is how the referral agreement actually lives within your organization. First, we have to contemplate how we identify francophone women in our shelters. Because, as we know, many women who speak French or whose first language is French have grown up in a culture that hasn't promoted French language. Francophone women may not have an expectation of services en français, and so it is our responsibility as English shelter workers to make an active offer and to ask all women if their first language is French, or if their preferred language is French. If the woman indicates that her first language or her preferred language is French, then we will let her know that a francophone support worker will be meeting with her. Just like we would let a woman know that a child support worker will be meeting with them or a transitional support worker will be meeting with them. Once you're done meeting with the woman, then you would immediately contact La Maison Rosewood Shelter or Colibri to let them know that you have brought a woman into service whose first or preferred language is French. The referral agreement has 4 intersection points, and they will guide you in terms of which organization to contact. What makes this agreement different from other agreements is its seamless nature, which I think shows the high level of cooperation between all of our organizations in Simcoe County, the 5 shelters, and of course Colibri. A seamless, active offer of French language service means that it doesn't matter which shelter a woman goes to in Simcoe County. In each of our shelters, she will receive service en français. The first intersection point is when a francophone woman requests emergency shelter. Once she identifies as a woman preferring French language service, you will call La Maison Rosewood Shelter and either speak directly to the francophone support worker or leave a message to indicate that you have a francophone woman in shelter. The francophone shelter support worker will follow up as soon as possible. You will be informed of the contact and when the worker will be attending at your shelter. This option means that every woman in the county who is francophone is guaranteed to have French language service on her terms while she is residing at your shelter. And she doesn't have to relocate from her community if she chooses not to. We will also give an active offer of service at La Maison Rosewood Shelter because Francophone women will have access to far more service en français. The critical piece for you to understand in this is that it is a seamless offer. If the woman chooses to stay at your shelter, the Francophone shelter support worker will come in and talk to the woman within the context of your policy framework and your procedures. At intake, we won't be identifying as a secondary agency, and we won't be identifying as members of La Maison Rosewood Shelter. We will also meet with you as a frontline crisis counselor and be sure that we are supporting you in your role of offering service to this individual woman. If she is a unilingual Francophone woman, then we will be providing her with a range of services both in person and by telephone, which may include some texting support depending on her comfort level. That stretch would be made more to a unilingual woman, Francophone woman, than it would be to a bilingual woman, because a bilingual woman will be able to get support from your organization. You need to remember that every Francophone woman in your organization has a right to services en français, regardless of whether or not she is bilingual. The second intersection point speaks to how the referral agreement comes into play when a Francophone woman requests outreach, legal support, or advocacy services from your organization. At this intersection, you will let the woman know that a Francophone counselor will be meeting with her to provide these services. You will then call Colibri and schedule a meeting between the woman and the Francophone counselor. You will also make the appropriate introduction. This call and introduction is all that is required of you to make this active, seamless offer of French language service. The third intersection point speaks to supporting Francophone women who request transitional support services. There are two options for service depending on whether the Francophone woman in need of transitional support is in the community or residing in your shelter. If the woman is from the community, then you will make the call to Colibri, schedule a meeting between the woman and the Francophone support worker, and make appropriate introductions. If the woman is in the shelter and requesting transitional support, the service will be provided through the Francophone shelter support worker from La Maison Rosewood Shelter. Francophone workers from either Colibri or La Maison Rosewood Shelter may partner with your individual transitional support workers because, of course, your workers know your community resources better than anyone. Our last intersection point speaks to when a Francophone woman requests sexual assault counseling and advocacy services from your organization. First, you will inform the woman that a Francophone counselor will meet with her as soon as possible. Then you will call Colibri to schedule a meeting and make appropriate introductions. Colibri is the only Francophone organization in Simcoe County providing sexual assault counseling and advocacy services to women. If you have any questions regarding the application of this agreement, or if you have any questions regarding the services provided by La Maison Rosewood Shelter or Colibri, please do not hesitate to contact us. Either organization will be happy to help you understand the application and the delivery of French language service in the VAW sector here in Simcoe County. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I really appreciate you taking the time to familiarize yourself with the French Language Services Referral Agreement. I also really appreciate your commitment to providing the best possible service to Francophone women across the county. We all have a responsibility to uphold the French Language Services Act. Together, we can and we do make a difference in the lives of women and children across our county, and I want to wish you all the best. Merci. Thank you.